Hello and welcome to Doing More. I'm Erica Cardenas. We're celebrating National Native American Heritage Month here at the Heard Museum in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a museum filled with the beauty of Native American art and history. November is a month of giving thanks and a time when we honor our veterans for their service and sacrifice. It's also a time when we honor and pay tribute to our Native American servicemen and women through the celebration of National Native American Heritage Month. It's a time we celebrate our indigenous people past and present and rededicate ourselves to honoring tribal sovereignty, promoting tribal self-determination, and upholding the United States solemn trust and treaty responsibilities to tribal nations. And it's a time when we celebrate rich and diverse cultures, traditions, and histories, and to acknowledge the important contributions of Native Americans. As we also celebrate Veterans Day, behind me is the Heard Museum's American Indian Veterans National Memorial, which honors American Indian veterans. We also had a chance to tour the Heard Museum to learn more about its mission, its history, and its beautiful exhibits. Take a look.
The Heard Museum was founded in December 26, 1929 by Dwight and May Bartlett Heard. The mission of the Heard Museum is to be the world's preeminent museum for the presentation, interpretation, and advancement of American Indian art, emphasizing its intersection with broader artistic and cultural themes. We have 3 signature exhibitions here at the Heard Museum. The one that we're standing at the entrance of is Home. Home is a survey of cultures that live in the Southwest. We also have Away from Home, American Indian Boarding School Stories, which is up on our 2nd floor. So it tells a very important story of when American Indian children were removed from their homes, mostly forcibly in the beginning, and taken to various boarding schools across the country. We have a brand new long-term exhibition titled Substance of Stars. Substance of Stars is a multisensory experience that takes visitors on a storytelling journey with 4 distinct communities, the Haudenosaunee, Yupik, Diné, and Akimel Atam, as artists share their unique perspectives, stories, and experiences through art, installation pieces, textiles, sculptures, and poetry. Substance of Stars features a 360-degree theater experience called the Sky Dome, where visitors can journey through indigenous homelands and into the stars with digital technology. On campus, we have the cafe. We have a bookstore, which sells books and little gifts. Every year we have the hoop dance, which usually takes place in February, and that happens on our grounds in the amphitheater. So visitors get to sit along the grass, and then down at the bottom of the amphitheater is where the performers perform. And this is like a worldwide competition. You know, we get so many visitors enjoying hoop dance and the music. In March, we have the Heard Guild Indian Fair and Market. The whole parking lot on the Heard Museum campus is filled with tents, and every single one of those tents has Native artists selling their art. When we present our exhibitions, we take a lot of time and effort to include the first-person voice. So if there is an artist that is willing to share his or her stories with us, we try to include that as much as possible into the labels or the explanation or the overall theme of presenting the exhibition. So we're working very hard to keep our exhibitions, I think, relevant and meaningful to the people that we're presenting. The Heard Museum is important to me because it's one of those rare places that present indigenous cultures and indigenous arts, and in a way that is respectful to those groups.
Every year, the Heard Museum hosts its annual World Championship Hoop Dance Contest, drawing thousands of visitors who enjoy watching dancers from all tribal nations throughout the United States and Canada. Blending cultural expression and precision dancing, they compete for the highest honor of being the world's greatest hoop dancer. The World Championship Hoop Dance Contest happens in February each year. For more information, go to heard.org. I'll be back with more on Doing More right after this.
You can bring hope to children dealing with critical illnesses by volunteering for Make-A-Wish Arizona. Your passion, time, and talents are needed in your community to create life-changing wishes. Start your volunteer journey at arizona.wish.org/azvolunteers.
Welcome back to Doing More, where we shine a light on the good things happening in our communities. We're here at the Heard Museum celebrating National Native American Heritage Month. We visited a Louisiana organization whose mission is to lead, educate, inspire, preserve, and sustain its community's trees and green spaces. Take a look.
Baton Rouge Green is a local nonprofit 501c3. We were formed in 1987 to help preserve our urban canopy and hopefully even grow it in some cases. We work with all kinds of partners across the community and the state actually to preserve and sustain our community trees and green spaces. Today, Baton Rouge Green is out at Clegg's Nursery on Segan Lane, and this is our annual Tree Spree event where we work together with the folks at Clegg's to bring out a whole host of species that we would really like to see people putting in their yards in Baton Rouge.
We really just want to have a conversation. That's the first thing we want to do, is facilitate a conversation with our customers and talk to them about getting a tree, the right tree in the right place for their needs. It's really important to get the right tree in the right place so that tree can make it to maturity. When a tree gets to maturity, that's when you start realizing the ecological benefits that that tree is providing for our environment in any urban environment. So a tree that only makes it 7 or 8 years isn't doing anyone any good. A tree that makes it 30, 40, 50, 100 years is what we're shooting for. And you want to minimize conflict, so that's really important to get the right tree in the right place.
Just so many native trees and things that people should be planting and knowing about planting things. Just really important. And these people are really knowledgeable.
This is our one time a year where we get to help people one-on-one with what they have in their space, right? So we do a lot of work on roadsides and in schools and with businesses even on occasion, and work with the city and the state. But this is our homeowner interaction day where we get to come out and talk about and share our knowledge of native tree species, how to plant them, where to plant, talk about your particular landscape, your needs, and try to find something that's going to work.
I've definitely learned a better way to plant things from these events. You know, it used to be how I would dig a hole and how I would fill it back, and I killed a lot of plants until somebody said, well, you're not doing that right.
At this event, we try to recruit a lot of the smaller native species. It's pretty easy to find large native species at most commercial nurseries. But at this one, we try to give some alternate selections. Crepe myrtles are great, but sometimes people want a little bit of variety in their gardening and a little bit of variety in the urban canopy. So we'll bring in some mid-sized and smaller native trees, which are pretty hard to find.
Why this is so important, and just because we get to actually reach out to homeowners from our area and connect them with local growers, ideally. People who are growing the kind of species that we want to see more of, and they're growing them within 100 miles of this location.
We've been doing business in Baton Rouge for over 30 years. We just want to really encourage people to help maintain the urban canopy.
Baton Rouge Green is a 501c3 non-for-profit organization whose work is supported in large part by the generous gifts of the community and friends. For more information, go to batonrougegreen.com. While I enjoy my hot cup of coffee from the Heard Museum's Courtyard Cafe, check out the Phoenix Indian Center, who's fostering a healthy and thriving Native American community.
So the Phoenix Indian Center was established in 1947, which is 75 years ago this year. The Indian Center is the oldest of its kind in the United States. We were established during the time of Indian relocation. That is when the federal government wanted to move American Indian families into major metropolitan cities. There were 5 of them established throughout the United States, Phoenix being one. And it was at that time that our founder made his way here, given a 30-day stipend to figure it out in this new world and to be immersed into mainstream society. The mission of our organization is really about providing services, social services to our urban American Indians that live here in the Valley. We provide programming in the areas of workforce development, helping people get jobs. We provide services around youth development, so mentorship, college and career readiness programming. We provide programming around prevention, so substance abuse prevention, suicide prevention work, language and culture revitalization efforts, really working on that identity. What does it mean to be an American Indian in an urban setting? listening to the needs of our community. Civic engagement is an important area. Various different advocacy efforts that are important to our people, we provide those services here. In addition to all of the wonderful resources and programming that we offer, we also have cultural events, community-based programming that helps our community gather. And then with our 75th anniversary celebratory year, we've really focused on some important, wonderful community-based events, like our fashion show that we held this year in March. Our fashion show was designed to showcase traditional regalia, important pieces that were made specific by our American Indian families. Staying engaged with the community has really helped me to see the need. The need is there. A lot of our people, they unfortunately have a lot of challenges and barriers, and we need advocates. We need people there who want to support and to give back. Being away from home is hard, and there are many that followed in those same footsteps, but we still are connected to who we are. And so that's why the Indian Center is so important to me, because, you know, who else is going to advocate on their behalf? Who else is going to provide? We have to be there for them. And so those are some of the reasons that the Phoenix Indian Center is such a unique, important organization for our people.
Happy Native American Heritage Month! Don't go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Doing More. I'm Erica Cardenas. We're celebrating National Native American Heritage Month here at the Heard Museum, where I'm just outside of the museum's new exhibit, The Substance of Stars. Substance of Stars is a multi-sensory experience that takes visitors on a storytelling journey with 4 distinct communities. The Haudenosaunee, Yupik, Dene, and Akimel O'odham, as artists share their unique perspectives, stories, and experiences through art, installation pieces, textiles, sculptures, and poetry. Substance of Stars features a 360-degree theater experience called the Sky Dome, where visitors can journey through indigenous homelands and into the stars with digital technology. For more information on the Heard Museum's Substance of Stars, go to heard.org. We visited the Salvation Army, who's meeting human needs whenever and wherever they can.
Thanks to the generous support of the communities, the Salvation Army, the Southwest Division, is growing in many different ways. Right now, we have multicultural and multi-generational new facilities being built in Yuma, Maryvale, Las Vegas, Prescott. We're expanding in New Mexico. We are now getting ready to move forward into sober living, what's called our Harvest House, where people who've come through our drug rehabilitation programs can settle into kind of a transitional living, so we're very excited. The Southwest Division last year served over 620,000 people. Now that's a 30% increase from pre-COVID. So the need is great, and at times it seems like the resources don't always meet the need. But the Salvation Army, we will not stop. It doesn't deter us from continuing to help families, to put food on the tables, to help with rental assistance, to pay utility. We're committed to meet the needs of those that are struggling. 1 in 6 Americans find themselves in poverty. About 22% of those are children. If a child stays in poverty for half their life, they're 32 times more likely to remain in poverty. And we're determined to change that statistic. So we're really going to focus on early prevention. So what we want to do is to offer vocational training, financial literacy, education, tutoring for children who find themselves in a difficult situation, anything that we can do to prevent families from falling into poverty. Well, the Salvation Army has kind of issued a rally cry called Love Beyond. For example, Love Beyond in paying utility assistance is more than just paying the bill, but it's rather keeping families safe in their homes so the family can be drawn closer together, feel safe, and feel a little bit more hope moving forward. Providing a meal in Love Beyond is more than just giving a full stomach. It's also a full heart, also giving a full night's rest so that they can face the next day with hope and big dreams. Love Beyond sheltering is not just giving a place for residents to stay at night, it's also connecting them to community resources, job training, offering budget training, and also connecting them to affordable housing. Love Beyond Christmas means more than just the Salvation Army's red kettles or toys for children in need. It is serving people, meeting human needs in Jesus' name without discrimination, 365 days a year. Sometimes that's just sitting down with the person and listening to their story and just offering hope, praying with them, and just offering some compassion and kindness. I would like people to go to our website at salvationarmysouthwest.org, and there they can find out all the programs that they have. Perhaps that you're in need yourself and just need a little bit of hope and help. It's also a place that you can learn about our mission and how you can join that mission to really help others in need.
Take a look how Cox Volunteers paid it forward through Paul's Car Wash, benefiting the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Arizona.
Today is the 15th annual Paul's Car Wash, benefiting Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Arizona. And today, I'm here with 30 other volunteers from Cox Communications.
I think it's really important to get my family involved. We need to be out here volunteering more. We live here, I grew up here, we work here, so it's so important to get them out. Even if, it's washing cars and doing things that are fun. We'll do a variety of different things, but I think it's really important that they get to see how doing these things impacts our community and can raise money. So it's really important to me that my boys are here and helping out.
I like just to help out and do the best I can. I like just to volunteer and help wash all these cars and just help out the Big Brothers and Big Sisters community. It makes me feel good when I just give back to the community and help them out.
Volunteer means giving our time, giving our energy, giving our money, whether, no matter how you're volunteering, it means giving back to this community and being able to be part of something that's bigger than us.
As part of the Cox Volunteers program, employees receive 16 hours of paid time off to support the charity of their choice.
I love that Cox has a volunteer program, so we're able to be out here, we count our community hours, we're able to help out with different organizations. For example, Brian's on the Big Brothers Big Sisters board, and he gathered all of us so we could come out here this morning. We could volunteer, give back to the community, donate to a great cause, and be part of it. And I love that Cox encourages that for our employees, and we can all be out here, and it's a team bonding thing for our employees as well. It's a really big thing about working for Cox.
On behalf of Cox employees in the Metro Phoenix area, today I'm proud to present a check for $35,000 to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Arizona.
I feel really proud that we're going to award $35,000 today between all of the employee contributions and being able to give back. It feels special, and to actually be here and be part of it too. It feels like such a great thing that we're able to do through Cox and Cox Volunteers.
This check represents funding to support the Cox Innovation Lab at the new Big Brothers and Big Sisters office, as well as a mentoring program for Big Brothers and Big Sisters. The Innovation Lab provides the latest technology for students to create and learn and do their homework, or just provide access to the computers and the internet that might be needed.
Our Cox mantra is about taking care of ourselves, taking care of our clients, and strengthening our community. And that's what we're out here to do today, is strengthen our community and give back in the ways that we're able to. And I love that Cox encourages the strengthening the community.
Congratulations to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Central Arizona for another successful year at Paul's Car Wash. And thank you to Paul for your dedication over these 15 years.
We'll be back with more on Doing More right after this. Welcome back to Doing More, where we shine a light on the good things happening in our communities. We're here at the Heard Museum celebrating National Native American Heritage Month. Our final stop was at the Boys and Girls Club of the Valley Avondale Branch, where we had a chance to meet with former NFL Super Bowl champion Malcolm Mitchell, who shared the magic of literacy.
I grew up in South Georgia. I grew up in a single-parent household. I have an older brother, younger sister, and my mother. And we're very close, and my mother was the rock of our family. She kind of led by example. She taught us persistence, perseverance, and resilience. And through those lessons, I was able to overcome some of the challenges associated with poverty. I was able to go to the University of Georgia on an athletic scholarship where I played sport and I went to school. Later, I realized that the right way to look at that was I went to school and I just happened to play sports. I saw the NFL as a way for me to accomplish my goal, but also a way for me to help others. I was in college and I walked into a bookstore. Now this is around the same time I'm a projected draft pick, but I'm also going through this reading experience, and I say to myself, everyone wants to listen to athletes for some reason. Maybe I should give them something valuable to listen to. And I felt like reading was this profound experience that exposed me to new possibilities. When I created Share the Magic Foundation, I wanted to accomplish two things. One, I wanted to make sure that kids in under-resourced communities had access to books. Because I can yell read as much as I want, but if kids don't have age-appropriate books, then what are they supposed to read? The second part was communicating reading in a culturally relevant way where communities could understand the value of it. So I try to communicate the value of reading in a way for communities to understand and embrace, because it is truly a tool that will amplify every aspect of your life. I partnered with Cox to really expand their affordable internet offerings. What's so cool about this is Cox has this long-standing relationship with the Boys and Girls Club, and they're creating these innovation labs that allow kids to explore their curiosity, learn internet safety or online safety, and use it as a tool to enhance their future. And to me, that's the same thing that I'm communicating with literacy. Through exposure and proper resources, you can look beyond your immediate circumstances. This partnership with Cox is something that I hope grants kids more opportunities to explore and learn new things, not only about the world, but themselves too. I remember being terrified of reading when I was a child. And now today, I will read a book that I wrote for the children, and I'll read it aloud, and hopefully in an engaging way.
To succeed, you must read! Yay!
I want to thank the Heard Museum for helping us celebrate National Native American Heritage Month and for sharing the rich, beautiful Native American arts and culture. National Native American Heritage Month is a time to celebrate rich and diverse cultures, traditions, and histories, and to acknowledge the important contributions of Native American people. It's also a time of opportunity to educate yourselves about indigenous tribes, to raise general awareness about the unique challenges Native Americans have faced, both historically and in the present, and how tribal nations have worked hard to conquer these challenges through their resiliency and endurance. I'm Erica Cardenas. Thanks so much for joining me.